Hello guys, good morning to everyone. Welcome to Sirmeo's Garden. Sirmeovlogs is here. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Begonia maculata or Polka Dot Begonia, as it's often called, is a splashy showstopper that looks fantastic with its olive green leaves and contrasting spots just like this. It's a houseplant that is likely to turn heads in your home, and thankfully it isn't too difficult to care for. Begonia maculata needs bright indirect light, well-aerated soil that dries a bit between waterings, fertilization every 2 to 4 weeks, and of course, temperatures of 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius to 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius. Aside from this, they are fussy about humidity and need semi-regular pruning, but they're very easy to propagate. The head-turning Begonia maculata is trending now, but it's been around for a while. This angeled wing cane begonia is also called a wigty eye, clown, spotted, or polka dot begonia. The plant's exotic look has many moving parts: silver polka dots that seemed painted on olive-colored leaves, crimson-colored undersides, and sprays of open bell-like red or white flowers with bright yellow centers on bamboo-looking knotty stems just like this. I will definitely give you a suggestion. If you're looking for something unusual that attracts attention, this over-the-top begonia is of course a great choice for you to have in the Year of the Water Tiger 2022. It's called easy and can be, but it needs pretty specific conditions in the way of humidity, light, and of course watering. These evergreen perennials hail from the tropical forests of Brazil, so it's no surprise they need warmth, strong filtered light, and of course, consistent moisture. They are fairly fast grower that can reach 3 feet or more, and their cascading white flowers bloom throughout the warm season. What a very beautiful and excellent plant for you to have in 2022. As a cane begonia, the plant's thick stems hold a bit of water and don't like wet conditions. They appreciate having their topsoil dry out between waterings. You have to consider this important reminder. Light is important too, but the secret to Begonia maculata care is the humidity factor itself. Steamy environs mimic its native habitat. You don't need to construct a greenhouse for it, but you'll need to make some humidity allowances to keep your maculata fresh and happy. No one ever wants to have a sad clown begonia at home. Proper potting is another big factor. There's a line to walk here. They're like being somewhat root-bound but quickly wear out their soil in close quarters. Yearly repotting is the best practice even if you're just returning them to the same container. Maculatas also need judicious pruning and grooming to look their best. One fortunate characteristic of these angelic winged plants is how easily they are propagate. Give your maculata a bright spot out of strong sunlight. Direct rays can fade the silvery spot or even burn the foliage. A southern exposure works well in winter months. East or west windows are fine year-round as long as you keep them out of direct light. Bright filtered light is the goal for this Maculata to have a healthy, bushy, lushy, and green color just like what we're seeing right now. If necessary, the plant will tolerate low light, but it won't be happy in very dim quarters. Southern gardeners should consider the Polka Dot Begonia a shade plant, but those in colder climes can put them in bright windows with limited direct morning or afternoon sun. You'll know your Maculata isn't getting enough light by its leaves. First, they lose some color, then turn yellow, and finally start to shed. The leaves will show scorched areas if they're getting too much. Watering this begonia can be tricky unless you have the right amount of soil, which we'll explain shortly, but first, let's go over the rules. Maculatas like moist soil most of the time. Never give them a drought, but they benefit from having the top half-inch of their soil dry out before rewatering. These plants easily develop root rot if they're kept too wet, so never water when the soil is moist. Allowing the top soil to dry also discourages fungus and wasans pests like knots. They don't like getting their leaves wet, so bottom watering is often recommended. But if that seems a hassle, their leaves are large enough to avoid if you're too careful about this. The point is to keep an eye on their soil and water thoroughly once the top has dried sufficiently. They like a little break between waterings, but actual stress is not good. They should never wilt. Like many plants, Polka Dot Begonia likes well-draining soil that holds moisture without becoming saggy. They do well in light commercial mixes, but to give them perfect conditions are the best for Polka Dot Begonia. Start with a light commercial potting soil and add a few handfuls of perlite along with a lesser amount of wood chips until you get a springy, floppy mix. Consider mixing enough to keep for future seasons. Store it in an airtight container to keep it fresh and sterile, of course. Even under high light, these plants are moderate feeders, so they're easy to keep fed. The main thing is to not overdo it. You don't want brown tips and edges on these fancy leaves. Maculatas bloom from spring to fall, producing clusters of white flowers with cherry yellow centers on a single stem. They're more a nice accent than a feature. A well-filled-out Maculata is a spectacular plant, but the bushy look takes time's intervention. The canes become sparse and leggy because the plant tends to put more energy into growing up instead of out. Pruning fixes this tendency. Definitely not your grandmother's begonia. The Maculata is a real eye-catcher with its large angel wing-shaped leaves, patterned with polka dots on top and a deep purple-red on the bottom side. This is one of the most trending plants in Year of the Water Tiger 2022. Thank you so much.